Mark Carney officially took over as Canada's Prime Minister on Friday, March 14th, ending Justin Trudeau's nearly 10-year run in office. Stepping into the role, Carney wasted no time tackling a hot-button topic: Canada's relationship with the United States. With unwavering confidence, he shut down any notion that Canada might one day become part of its powerful southern neighbor. "Let me be absolutely clear," he declared. "Canada will never, in any way, shape, or form be part of the United States. That idea is completely ridiculous." His words were a direct response to U.S. Senator Marco Rubio's claim that Canada would be better off as America's 51st state, a suggestion Carney dismissed as pure nonsense. While fiercely defending Canada's independence, Carney made it clear that he wasn't against working with Washington. He expressed hope for cooperation with the Trump administration, but didn't hold back when addressing what he saw as threats from the U.S. "They want our land, our water, our resources," he warned. "If they got their way, they'd erase our way of life." As tensions between the two countries reached new heights, Canada's Defense Minister, Bill Blair, made a bombshell announcement that went far beyond the usual trade disputes. Late Friday, Blair revealed that Canada is reconsidering its massive deal to purchase American-made F-35 fighter jets. Instead, the government is now actively looking at other aircraft options, possibly shifting away from its long-standing reliance on U.S. military technology. This decision comes just as Blair is reinstated in Carney's cabinet, signaling a major shift in Canada's defense strategy. The original deal, signed with Lockheed Martin in June 2023, committed Canada to buying 88 F-35 jets for a staggering $19 billion. But now, officials are questioning whether all those jets should actually be F-35s. Although Canada has already paid for the first 16 planes set to arrive next year, the rest of the purchase is suddenly in doubt. Adding fuel to the fire, Portugal recently backed out of its own plans to buy F-35s, raising even more concerns among America's allies about the fighter jet program. With Canada now rethinking its deal, the future of the aircraft and the country's military ties to the U.S. is more uncertain than ever. On March 14th, Portugal made a bold move that sent shockwaves through the defense world. The country's defense minister, Nuno Melo, announced that Portugal was scrapping its plan to buy American-made F-35 fighter jets. Instead of upgrading its aging fleet of F-16s with the latest U.S. aircraft, Portugal is now looking for alternatives. The reason? Uncertainty over U.S. foreign policy under President Donald Trump. Melo didn't mince words, pointing to the unpredictable stance of the U.S. within NATO. "We have to carefully consider our best options," he said, raising concerns that Trump's administration might impose restrictions on how Portugal could use, maintain, or upgrade the jets. This decision marks one of the first times Trump's policies have directly influenced a major military deal. Now, the big question is, will other NATO countries follow Portugal's lead? With growing uncertainty in global politics, some allies may start reconsidering their own F-35 purchases. Meanwhile, north of the border, Canada is facing a similar dilemma. Rising tensions between Ottawa and Washington, fueled by trade disputes and Trump's latest threats, have thrown Canada's $19 billion fighter jet deal into question. Back in June 2023, Canada agreed to buy 88 F-35s from Lockheed Martin, but now officials are debating whether they really need that many. Defense Minister Bill Blair hinted that while the first batch of jets might still be delivered, Canada is now considering buying some of its fleet from European manufacturers instead. This potential shift signals a major break from Canada's usual reliance on U.S. military hardware and could reshape its long-term defense strategy. Canada has already locked in payments for the first 16 fighter jets set to arrive early next year. But now, with defense officials reconsidering their options, a new contender has entered the conversation: the Saab JAS 39 Gripen, a Swedish-made fighter that's catching serious attention. Built by the Swedish aerospace company Saab AB, the Gripen is known for being both cost-effective and highly adaptable. Unlike the expensive maintenance-heavy F-35, the Gripen is designed for versatility. The latest version, the Gripen E, also called the Gripen NG or Super Gripen, is packed with cutting-edge technology. It can hit speeds of around 2,130 kilometers per hour, Mach 2, and travel up to 3,200 kilometers before needing to refuel. With a service ceiling of over 15,000 meters, it's built to operate at high altitudes with ease. One of the Gripen's standout features is its unique design. It has a delta wing and canard configuration, which makes it incredibly agile in combat. But what really sets it apart is its ability to take off and land on regular roads, not just military airstrips. This means Canada could deploy it in remote or emergency situations without needing massive infrastructure. Inside, the Gripen E comes with an advanced cockpit that prioritizes pilot awareness and control. It's also loaded with firepower, capable of carrying up to 6 air-to-air missiles at a time. Plus, it integrates the powerful Meteor missile system, giving it serious long-range strike capabilities. Saab, originally founded in 1937, has a long history of building top-tier military aircraft. While it started as a fighter jet manufacturer, the company has since expanded into missiles, electronic defense systems, and other high-tech military gear. Today, it supplies defense solutions to countries around the world. When Canada began evaluating alternatives to the F-35, Saab made an aggressive pitch. They not only offered to sell the Gripen, but also proposed building the jets in Canada. This would mean a full transfer of technology, allowing Canadian engineers and technicians to work directly on the aircraft. Another major selling point, the Gripen E is well suited for Arctic conditions, making it a strong candidate for Canada's demanding climate. In January 2023, Canada officially sealed the deal on a major military investment, agreeing to purchase 88 F-35 fighter jets, wrapping up years of deliberation on its next-generation air defense fleet. But the country's defense strategy goes far beyond fighter jets. Canada's military industry plays a massive role in shaping national security, employing tens of thousands of people and generating billions of dollars annually. According to the 2024 State of Canada's Defense Industry Report, this sector provides jobs for more than 64,000 Canadians and brings in around 10 billion Canadian dollars each year. Even more striking, about 60% of those earnings come from exports, proving Canada isn't just upgrading its own military. It's also a key player in the global defense market. Several homegrown companies are at the forefront of this effort. In Ontario, General Dynamics Land Systems Canada is a powerhouse in armored vehicle production, supplying the Canadian Army with its essential LAV-6 combat vehicles. Over in Montreal, CAE Inc. is making waves in high-tech simulation technology, helping train both military and civilian pilots worldwide. Meanwhile, Magellan Aerospace, headquartered in Mississauga, provides cutting-edge aerospace components, contributing to both defense and commercial aviation. To keep its military sharp and its economy strong, the Canadian government has put significant effort into supporting domestic defense industries. Through a carefully designed procurement strategy, Canada ensures that its armed forces and Coast Guard get the right equipment while also fueling local job creation and economic growth. Programs like the Defense Capabilities Blueprint help streamline military acquisitions and give industry leaders insight into upcoming contracts and business opportunities. Beyond building up its own military, Canada also works closely with international allies to stay ahead of emerging threats. One of its latest defense projects focuses on strengthening maritime surveillance. To boost its ability to track potential threats over vast ocean areas, Canada is set to acquire up to 16 Boeing P-8 Poseidon aircraft. This deal, finalized in November 2023, includes 14 multi-mission aircraft with the option to purchase 2 more. Deliveries are expected to begin between 2026 and 2027, giving Canada a cutting-edge advantage in anti-submarine warfare and coastal defense. In December 2023, Canada made a major move to strengthen its military surveillance capabilities, signing a 2.49 billion Canadian dollars deal to acquire 11 MQ-9B Sky Guardian drones. These high-tech, unmanned aircraft will provide Canada with advanced intelligence and reconnaissance abilities, making it easier to monitor potential threats from the sky. The first deliveries are expected to begin in 2028, with the full fleet becoming fully operational by 2033. Beyond adding new technology to its arsenal, Canada is also investing in maintaining and upgrading its existing military equipment through international partnerships. In September 2024, the government signed a 2.8 billion Canadian dollars agreement with Germany's KNDS Deutschland to service and maintain its fleet of 103 Leopard 2 battle tanks. This deal ensures Canada's heavy armor remains battle-ready for years to come. Canada's collaboration with European defense industries goes beyond just weapons and vehicles. The country is also strengthening trade ties with the European Union in critical areas like energy, technology, and natural resources. This growing relationship reflects a larger shift in global defense strategy, where Western allies are working together more closely than ever to maintain security and technological advantage. Meanwhile, Europe itself has seen a massive expansion in military investments. Between 2021 and 2024, European Union member states collectively ramped up their defense budgets by more than 30%, reaching a staggering 326 billion euros in 2024. That accounts for nearly 1.9% of the EU's total economic output. This surge in spending has fueled rapid growth in Europe's defense manufacturing sector, helping the continent move closer to its goal of achieving strategic autonomy in military production. Europe's defense industry is booming, with companies reporting record-breaking sales as military budgets skyrocket. One of the biggest players, Rheinmetall, Europe's top ammunition manufacturer, saw revenues hit 9.75 billion euros last year and expects growth of up to 30% in the coming year. The company's CEO, Armin Paperger, predicts that by 2030, European military spending could surge to 1 trillion euros, with Rheinmetall capturing a significant share, potentially 20 to 25% of the market. To keep up with evolving security threats, the European Commission rolled out a bold new initiative in March 2025 called Rearm Europe. This ambitious plan aims to mobilize as much as 800 billion euros to strengthen Europe's military capabilities. Some of the key measures include loosening budget restrictions to allow governments to spend more on defense, providing 150 billion euros in loans for joint military projects, redirecting existing EU funds to defense investments, lifting lending restrictions at the European Investment Bank so defense companies can access more financial support. Despite this rapid push to modernize its military, Europe is facing serious challenges in scaling up production. One major bottleneck: artillery shell manufacturing. Right now, European factories produce around 600,000 shells per year, but with rising geopolitical tensions, that number may not be enough to meet growing demand. For decades, Europe has depended heavily on the United States for advanced military hardware, from fighter jets to missile defense systems. But recent shifts in U.S. foreign policy, particularly under Donald Trump's administration, have made European leaders rethink that reliance. With growing uncertainty over whether the U.S. will continue prioritizing European security, the EU is making a push to become more self-sufficient in defense manufacturing. That said, completely breaking away from U.S. military support won't be easy. Europe still lacks homegrown alternatives for key defense technologies, especially in areas like air defense and long-range missile systems. Defense officials acknowledge that creating independent solutions will take years of development and billions in investment. Another obstacle: fragmentation within Europe's defense sector. Many EU countries run their own separate military programs, leading to overlapping projects and inefficiencies. While there are ongoing efforts to streamline procurement and encourage joint development, overcoming national rivalries and regulatory hurdles remains a major challenge. If you found this video interesting, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.